Hello everybody, my name is Blue and welcome to the review of the competition, the Island Diorama competition. We will be reviewing the submissions that people have made, and this video will be in two parts. So we will be looking at 4 submissions this episode and 4 other submissions next episode, and then we will be, well, in the second episode I will be deciding the actual winner. But in this episode, let's look at 4 builds, and I must say that everyone exceeded my expectations, but I will be judging based on different categories. So firstly, I'll be definitely looking at the story, because everyone has written amazing stories. The stories are stunning. I love the stories. So yeah, some are very long though, so I won't be reading all of them out loud. But if you want to read the full stories, you can go to the Mandevu Discord, and there's a whole list of them there, so you can check the stories out. But I will also be judging the build itself and how it ties in with the story, so if it obviously matches and stuff. But I'll also be looking at the actual shade detail of the build, so you know how well built it is. But definitely how it's integrated with the animal and with the story as well. So let's just hop into it and look at the first build. As a wildlife photographer, I was always on the lookout for new and exciting locations to capture rare and elusive animals. One day, while sailing off the North American coast, my crew and I stumbled upon a hidden island that we had never seen before. We'd heard rumours that the late John Jacob Astor I had a secret holiday island in which he would often visit after returning from his ever-fruitful fur trades. Quieter rumours whispered he was also smuggling opium into China, and the island has also served as a place to hide if ever that went south. Upon landing on the island, we discovered the ruins of a grand mansion that once belonged to Astor. However, what caught our attention was that the movement we saw among the overgrown shrubs and foliage. There was a family of red pandas, not what you expect to see on American territories. We supposed Astor had brought them back from one of those many excursions to China. Maybe they were a gift from another fur trader. Either way, we had never seen any red pandas before. The red pandas appeared to be thriving on the island despite the lack of human presence. We cautiously approached them, and they seemed to welcome us with curiosity rather than fear. We followed them to their home, which was nestled within the ruins of the Astor mansion. As we explored further, we discovered that the red pandas had made a thriving community with the mansion's remains. They had created their own habitats using what remained of the mansion's furniture. We hypothesized the island has been abandoned for John's passing, leaving the pandas free to fend for themselves. So welcome to Astor Island, a submission by Whamwhoo, and this island is already a great start. I'm saying you, all the builds are amazing, and this is supposed to be a ruined mansion from a certain John Jacob Astor I. He was a fur trader, and the red pandas that inhabit this island were imported by this guy, and they just thrived here. So it's an interesting way of explaining how the animals got there. I love how he also explained how the animals actually got on this island, which is very well done. Yeah, red pandas definitely suit this island. Even though it's a North American island, it explains how they got there, and the environment definitely fits with the red pandas environment. It's a taiga biome. The actual mansion itself is very detailed. There's lots to it, so I will have a quick overview. So firstly, there's a little dock with everything being ruined. Like every single part of this mansion has signs of aging and ruining. So yeah, this broken up port, very well done. And then, well, it's hard to tell what's what really, because it's all ruined, but it's all part of a mansion, and there's a lot of gold here as well. So the Astor guy definitely wasn't the poorest with his fur trade. But there's even a what I assume would be a garden that, well, what remains of this garden with the pond still intact, the water still there. And then the red pandas, they've thrived and they've used this mansion as their home, using this as bedding, I assume. And even this interesting build, I'm not sure what it is, but it looks very cool. And there's even some floating people there, which isn't intentional, I think, but quite funny. There's also something out here, I'm not sure what it is. it could be something to do with boats or breaking waves or something like that. Maybe something to do with wind. I'm not really an expert on this, but it looks like it has some function. But an extra detail that I've noticed is that if we go under the water, there's actually a broken pillar over here. And that's a detail that you wouldn't really notice, but there's rubble all around it, and you don't notice it unless you actually go under the water. And you can even see these vertical ones over here that are supposed to obviously go straight up. So awesome attention to detail there, I must admit. So overall, a great build, a great detail, and it definitely aligns with the story. And yeah, the animals suit the biome. It's a great build, but we'll head over to the next build, shall we? You've been sailing for days without land in sight. Water is running low, and the ship's biscuits are getting too filled with maggots for comfort. Finally, you see a lighthouse in the distance. Its beaming light cuts through the fog that lays thick over the waves. You carefully navigate the rocky waters towards its beckoning promise of sanctuary. But at the sight of the wooden sign in front of the harbour, your heart almost skips a beat. It's not any lighthouse, it's Ezekiel's Rock. Last you heard of this godforsaken place, it was tales of a lighthouse keeper being forgotten, sailors marooned, no one ever to return. Could the rumours be true, and was it also true that the old lighthouse keeper Ezekiel actually went mad with the loneliness? Who wouldn't grow mad of hearing not a single human voice over the years? Nothing but the ever-crashing waves against the rocks. You step ashore and a white deer turns its head to look at you. You find yourself unable to break away from his gaze that seems filled with sadness. Welcome to Ezekiel's Rock. This is a submission by BlubbaEK, and my god, does it definitely throw you in the spooky setting of Ezekiel's Rock. The mist, the rain, the twilight time. Definitely some amazing looking build. Even the light glowing in the darkness. And as we can see, there's a deer here, and as the story described, sad deer. So what could have possibly happened to the person that lived there, and what could have possibly happened to the deers for it being sad? Oh, look at it. Beautiful. And look at this build. There's so much to it. Firstly, we have this sign with Ezekiel's Rock. Whoops. With Ezekiel's Rock. And even detail into that with the stalagmites and stuff like that. And some shipwreck. And then when we head over to the docks, we have a dock with a boat, and even the boat storage. How cool is that? And then the actual building. Let's sink that in for a moment. Now that is a detailed building. I love it. It's great. Well done. If we head over inside, there's even an interior. There's a cloth hanging. There's tables and chairs. There's racks with food and drinks and beds. Everything you would expect in a living quarter, a living room. Even some hanging racks with some tools and hats and like shelves. Very well done. And outside there is some chopping blocks, even a little garden, although not the most fruitful garden, I suppose. There's just this one nettle growing and some grasses. So you know, it's definitely been here for a while. It's definitely been left here to rot, I suppose, if that's how you would like to explain it. And then the actual island is surrounded by a rock wall, and well, to enclose it and really give it this enclosed feeling. And oh, there's even a hammock. And I'm sure there's a lot of things I've missed with this actual building, but the most important part is the actual lighthouse. And look at this. Beautiful building, using a lot of the twilight pieces. There's even a trapdoor up here for realism's sake. Oh, even a well. I didn't even notice this well. How cool is that? And then the deer. I think this is supposed to be the white deer. Can't really see the color that well since it's dark, but wow. The deer looks beautiful on this island. It definitely makes you question what happened to the island and what happened to Ezekiel. Very mysterious story, and a mysterious build that really fits with it. Beautiful work by Blubba. And yeah, we'll have to move to the next build and see what the next two people have done. But wow, beautiful submission. The lion-sized otter, Enodryodon omoenis, was thought to have been extinct for millions of years. However, nestled in a fish paradise island with a crescent mountain, they thrived. Attracted by the fish, illegal fishermen discovered the island and laid massive banned fishing nets around it. The otters would get trapped in the nets, tearing them up and frustrating the fishermen. They called poachers in to remove the oversized otters in any means necessary. Arriving in the cover of darkness, they begin shooting the adults due to their aggressive nature, taking only a few of the bodies they found useful. They found their pups had adorable white markings, perfect for fancy clothing, and butchered them, collecting their fur coats in boxes. Once finished, they set the island on fire, burning the evidence of its existence. Any otter that survived the first onslaught burnt in the fire. Some of them curled up, accepting fate after losing their pups. A few died, falling off the cliffs trying to escape. However, two of the smallest of the otter pups managed to slip into a tiny tunnel, finding a small pond and the soon-to-be last remaining portion of the jungle on the island. Is it worth finding these pups, risking their lives to satisfy your curiosity? Welcome to Crescent Island by Hollow. Now this took a very different approach, a very sinister story, I must admit. It's quite dark and a sad story. It's about otters being exterminated by humans, since, you know, that's what humans are best at doing. And the whole island got burnt down with just a small portion of forest left. And I love how this whole portion is burning down, and how this is, I assume, the actual fire that's slowly closing in the remaining part of the forest. So it's like mid-action. It's very well done. These are the fur traders, or the poachers, and using the statues as dead otters, that's so sad, but it's really well done. These boats, they're all over the place. There's some more boats over here as well, using some more of these people standing here. And then, yeah, some more boats sprawl over, and then I assume this is the huge net across the around the island for the fishing. But yeah, let's have a look on the actual island. Look how sad this looks, but it's so well done because there's smoke coming off of the broken trees. And then if we head over here, even the red glow, I don't know how they did that. There must be a light underneath the tree, but that looks like a scorched tree. It looks like it's like the amber is coming off of it and it's just all scorched and burnt. That's so well done. And even this fallen over tree using this, well, the same piece but upside down, so smart. Definitely well done. But the best part, and also look at this texture on there. Oh, that's just the, oh, that's just some grass. I think it's the, oh, it's the underwater hydralla plant. But yeah, very unique choice of pieces there, and it really looks like it's just burning away and spreading. Definitely, since there's like a front line of just fire, I suppose, that's going to destroy the rest of the island, sadly enough. But if you look very closely, there is a tiny tunnel in between this tree. It took a while for me to find this, because obviously I've never been on this island before, but I finally found it. Right in between these plants, there's a tiny hole, and if we go down there and turn around and then continue to go down, it opens up in this beautiful cave with lush tropical plants and a pond in the middle. This is stunning. This build is basically in two parts. The top scorched part, and then this beautiful cave with plants underneath. I love it. And oh, you can even hear the baby otters, if that's how you want to call them. But yeah, these are obviously the giant otters, but in this story it's supposed to be the baby otters, which is very smart. I love that idea, having the white markings as a baby feature and the adults being lion-sized. But yeah, so how beautiful is this? I must say that it's a very original story, and it's a very original build as well. I love the use of these two levels basically. And if you go under the water, is there anything special in here? I haven't looked, but no, it's just a cave, but it's beautiful, well done. It's very lush. And oh, it goes down here? No. Oh. Yeah, I can only find the one otter though, but I'm sure they're both in there. But great build. Oh, does it continue? Oh, wait. It goes quite deep. Oh, wow. But yeah, very luscious and very beautiful. And if we head back over, where is the exit? Yeah? We can have another look at build up here. Yes, very beautiful. Well done. And, well, thank you, Hollow, for submitting this build. But we'll have to head over to the final build for this episode. Over 1,000 years ago, a small island in the Mozambique Channel of southern Africa was home to 3 tribes descending from the Zulu and Bantu people: the Umsala, the Mbovu, and the Ijubi. War had broken out between these nations for reasons lost to time, and as the island was ravaged, so too was its ecosystem. In response to the environmental degradation, a small group of pacifists between the 3 nations carved a mineral-rich stone into an elephant, a symbol of unity and regeneration among the tribes. Under the feet of the statue, seeds comprised of multiple plant varieties laid dormant in the soil. The statue would remain hidden in the century of the island, unable to be found by anyone. As time passed, the war continued and led to the downfall of each nation until no living thing, man, beast, or flora remained. The landscape was dry and barren, nothing stood tall but the great statue atop the mountain. Ruins in a dry, barren wasteland that once represented unity yet now symbolizes irony. Years went by until the wind carried the sound of thunder roaring in the distance. The clouds formed and rain fell down on the statue as the water traveled toward the bottom of the legs and into the soil, awakening the seeds and sprouting the first signs of plant life in centuries. The roots began to grow thick and strong over time, stretching across the island with bushes and colorful plant life. As the vegetation grew, the air became more humid, allowing more rainfall and made the roots grow into trees towering higher than the statue itself. Waterfalls formed along the rocky slopes, migratory animals found a new home, and paradise had been conjured from the ashes of a dark past. The island became a legend among the coastal natives of Mozambique and Madagascar, naming it after Mandevu, the elephant god worshipped by the ancient inhabitants. As this legend expanded throughout the world and into the modern day, a small team of scientists, archaeologists, conservationists, and anthropologists ventured to the island of Mandevu in hopes of finding this statue and unlocking the secrets hidden in the jungle. As they arrived, they found the island was inhabited by the red-ruffed, black and white-ruffed, and ring-tailed lemurs who, according to legend, were a reincarnation of the 3 tribes. Despite its history, it appeared that the lemurs coexisted among one another, sharing this island and respecting it as a single collective embodying the symbolism of its centerpiece. Researchers set up a base camp and a small butterfly habitat to further study the organisms and their ability to recover and flourish from a war-torn past, while uncovering clues that can help learn more about the unified society that saved this island. Welcome to the final island of this episode, the island of Mandevu by Sir Gusdaddy IX. This is a very lovely entrance. Oh, I'll do that again. Welcome to the island of Mandevu, the last island of this episode, of this part. Let's do that again. Welcome to the island of Mandevu, the final island of this part, and a submission by Sir Gusdaddy IX. A beautiful opening of the elephant statue that was a symbol of peace and serenity, which is completely overgrown by the plants that were planted by the peacekeepers. Now, if we zoom out, we can see that this tropical island, the first tropical island, actually no, the previous one was tropical as well, I don't know why I said that. But if you look at this luscious tropical island, you can see there's a lot of plants. I love this because this really embodies the essence of a tropical island. A nice rocky surface with huge tropical plants covering the whole island. You can hardly even tell there was civilization here. Actually, there's hardly anything left of the civilization. It's completely overgrown. There's no ruins at all, except for the occasional staircase and a pathway that goes all the way through this butterfly garden as well. very nice here. And the lemurs, which are the centerpiece of this island. These 3 species of lemurs are supposed to represent the 3 tribes that lived here, which is a very nice way of describing the animals on this island. And then there's a small settlement over here with some tents and some equipment, which would be where the researchers have settled and, well, to do some research. Which this is I must say, this is the most positive of the 4 builds. It's a very ecological friendly ending to this story. Or well, not specifically an ending, there's definitely an open ending from what could be continued. Who knows what the researchers discover of this ancient civilization. But yeah, this is the most naturalistic build so far and very well done. Lots of plants everywhere. And yeah, this really shouts tropical island, with a river going through on each side, a waterfall, some water rapids even, and the amazing elephant statue in the middle, with even a plant coming out of the trunk, which is amazing. So there's not much more to say about this, but I must say thank you for the submission, beautiful submission, and we will look at the other 4 submissions next episode, and I will be deciding a winner who will win a free copy of either the tropical pack or any other pack of choice. So definitely stay tuned for the next part and see who the winner is. So I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.